Well, 10:50 in the morning of the 9th of Feb, and be making my way down to Brean Down, and I'll be getting down there about 2ish, 11, 12, 1, 2, be about 3 hours. Might be doing just less. Have my lunch then before I get out, down the car park. Yeah, then up and over, fish the tide out. Whether I'm doing the right thing or not at Brean Down. See, I'm toying with the idea of Brean Down or Sandpoint. I'll decide that when I get down there. Yeah. See you when we get down there. See you in a bit. Well, from here, you can see in this car park, it doesn't close overnight. It's a £5 a ticket. Just spoken to Amanda from National Trust. Very, very nice lady. She gave me some pointers. So, Brean Down car park. What we've got to do is way up there. If I can show, if it'll zoom in, that little zigzag line, kind of, where is it? There, zigzag all the way up. That focus. That zigzag line is the 175 steps. What can I say? I just got to take my time. I'll see you when I see you. Brean Down. Start of the steps. That's it. I'm doing it. All this time watching other people do it on YouTube. It's now my turn. See you in a bit. Well, I chose to come around the right hand side. So I've picked up this hard track. There's a bay down there. And so I don't know what that is, but we've got to go around the front of that point there. Yeah. So anyway, I stopped about 5 times coming up those steps for a few seconds each time. Stop the old acid building up in my leg muscles, because I could feel my top leg muscles starting to cramp up. Right, so gonna crack on the track. There you go. Then over the next part over there, and hopefully then down to my mark. So yeah, believe it or not, Thompson's up, mate. Grass here, plenty of grass. Pegs, got pegs pushed nice all the way down in. So I've got a very comfortable night of it. Yeah, I'm on my own, but I've been down to the bottom. I've got a bucket of water. I checked the rocks. I think I'll put my little crampons on in a bit, just to make sure I can move a bit quicker on them. I just got plenty of time now. I'm going to bloody have a drop of water, and I'll show you the view what I'm looking at. Rods aren't set up yet. yeah, if anyone wants to lose some weight, come and do this sort of fishing. Because I must, well, I must have, I'm sweating, but I'm not knackered. The steps were a killer, and I've just realised where a lot of the filming has been done. It's on the previous point, but people have been here as well, by the looks of it. Loads of people have been here. So, yeah. Right, show you around. So there's the fort at the end of Brean. There's one of the islands, I can't remember what they're called. There's one, and there's the other, and the view from my office. Western-super-Mare, and that point there is where I've seen an old 1990s film done with Mike Ladle. Dr. Mike Ladle did a film with a guide down here, I can't remember his name. Check it out on YouTube, and I think that's where they were filming way back in the early 90s, fishing off at that point there, getting codling. It was quite a rough day as well. Just show the baits that we've got. We've got some rag from last week, which is which is on its last legs as usual. Some old lug, blow lug from last week, what's left of it. Got some frozen black, got some fresh blow over here to open up, and of course I've got some squid. I didn't bring any mackerel. My usual setup, pulley pennels. Just trying this 60-pound red leader line. Seems to be quite supple. It might help for better bait presentation. Anyway, got rag on one, blow lug and frozen black on the other. I haven't put the squid on yet. Yeah, so yeah, two minds really as to whether to go down now, move all the gear down, fish down there, or just stay up here, wait for the tide to start coming. Yeah, I don't know how far I'm going to be able to cast them up here, but yeah, well, we'll see. I'll try to cast them up here, see how it goes. Right, see you in a bit. Something I'd like to show you. Well, I always take with me now. These, called yak tracks. I bought them 2 years ago from Snow and Rock. I think about 16 quid, 17 quid a pair. So they just stretch over your soles, and they're like a springy wire all around this sort of stretchy rubber, and you can just move quicker on the rocks. I've just had a little practice run to go down as quick as I could, and I got down quicker with these than what I did when I first got here to get my bucket of water. So yeah, baits are out now, and I'll have a cup of coffee, and yeah, you can watch the rods. Yeah, so managed to cast out, of course, but from the grass up here, probably about 60-70 yards out into the water there. Basically, I did like an overhead, a little swinging overhead, about a 3-foot drop. The pulleys are quite short, which is handy. So a 3.5 foot drop, and kind of swung the lead underneath the tip and then hit it. Yeah, they've certainly gone where, oh Christ, Ratchet just went in. Might have been a gust of wind, but just tighten the clutch up. I'm only on worm bait at the moment, going to put squid out in a minute. Who knows? The ragworm bait's got, it's tipped tip that a bit of squid. Yeah, we'll see. So I guess I'm casting to where most people would cast to from the top here. So they're obviously fish here, they're fishing the top, fishing into the mud, sand, whatever it is out there. So yeah, we'll see. So what I've done bait wise on my second rig now, which I'm going to hang on the stand, put the thread lug, about 3 lug on there. I actually put the top hook into the lug as well. I didn't want to do that. And then I put it all inside, pulled out the inside of the squid, which is the head and the guts and that. Give it a poke around in there, little poke around, and then push the hook in and pull the hook through here, slide it down there, then go and get some cotton, which is in here. Here he is. There's Mr. Cotton. Old Doc Cotton. Right, okay. So this is here. Basically what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to bind Squidly. See that? Bind him all up. Like so. That's it. That's him done. There you go. That really, I should poke that, try to align it up if I can. Yeah, it's a little bit squeezed, that is. Okay, one hook comes out that angle, one hook comes out here, so opposite angles. Yeah, it's not a bad bait. There was all the lugworm juices coming through there. Where's my main hook? There's my main hook. Make sure that that can come off the bloody bait clip. It's not easy sliding. These hooks I got on here are 1/0s, believe it or not. Kamasan 1/0s, that's my favourite little thing. But this is these are my kind of more finesse type. Yeah. Pulley panels, so that's about as good as I can get that. Just hang it on the stand. And in bright yellow, as you see, wow, this is actually a kind of fluorescent green leader used for tournament casting, so you can see it over grass. But I have the spool I got, the side come off and all the line got tangled, so I salvaged some leaders out of it for casting, and I salvaged some leaders for fishing, and the rest of it I made some rig bodies up. I just made some pulley panels, and yeah, you can see it at night. I don't think it's going to matter here in the Bristol Channel. I don't think it's really going to matter with the colour of the water out there. It's not going to spook the fish. There we are. Anyway. So, just got me thermal suit on now. First time I bought those yak tracks, it's back in the summer of 2020, when the shops started to reopen and that, and sporting goods shops, non-essential shops could reopen. When basically we got our freedom back, we'd already been fishing since about May 2020. We've been between the lockdowns and the tier systems and all that. And Wales was open to was open. So I thought, right, I'm going to go and see my mum in Pembrokeshire and my mate, who lives just outside Newcastle Emlyn. And long story short, took the tracks down with me, these yak tracks, and went fishing with my mate on a North Pembrokeshire rock mark. Now, if anyone knows anything about the rocks in Pembrokeshire, if it's southerly facing or southwesterly facing, they can be quite rough type rocks, and yeah, plenty of grip. And then if it's northerly facing rocks, they're black rocks, like round Fishguard and going up to Cardigan. like munt and all that, you have these kind of smooth black rocks. Well, if it's slightly wet or if it's frosty or anything like that, they just become just so slippery. I put these on. My mate, we come down the grass bank and got to the ledge, and I went on there, and I thought I've got to try these, and I stood upright on this smooth bit of black rock which was wet, and I tried to slide my feet, and they wouldn't move. I was so impressed. And my mate come down, he stood on there, he said, I'm not standing on that bit, so he fished off the grass. Sensible. Of course I had these on so I could climb down further if we had anything big. And during the night, yeah, we were getting double shots of dogs and loads of whiting and that, and I had to climb down a couple of times, and I couldn't believe the speed that I climbed down on all that slippery black rock. It just seems like those kind of wiry bits, they just dig into any little crevice, and they even kind of dig into they just don't slip on the surface, you know. So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes tonight, you know. There we go. Right, maybe later on, hopefully with a fish ski. That's about all I can do here, I think. Just show you Western-super-Mare by night. Can't really make out much on here. And then to the left, the far distance is Wales. There's the lights in Wales. Digestives, have some dinner in a minute, I think. God, come on, don't you come? Don't be shy. I've got on the slope. See, everything here is on the slope. That's what I've actually changed position in here because I was picking up a little bit of a breeze around the corner, draft. So moved this side, and yeah. The thing is, when you don't bury shelter into the shingle on a beach, you just put it on grass, you've got the flaps, you get air coming underneath the flaps, the side flaps. It's unavoidable. There you go. It's more comfortable being in here than not being in here. Well, it's dinner time. Just lost one set of gear, kind of straight out. Right hand rod, so I put another leader on that, and chuck that one out to the left, where the left hand rod is as well. The left hand rod, the first one I reeled in, coming nice and clean, just come straight in. So I must be on a little bit of a rig sticking out the front. So I've got to go to the left, cast to the left a little bit by the looks of it. Dinner time, yeah. So bag of treats. Yeah. I had a little nibble. I had a little Scotch egg earlier. Soup, homemade. I made this. Please guys, homemade leek potato soup. Lovely, nice and thick. I feel it's hot in there. So what we got? Back on the Ginsters because I went co-op instead of one stop. Couple of ham and cheese sardines, and then coffee and biscuits and a bottle of water. So yeah, pretty much sorted really. Let's see what the old loop to loop's like. God, yeah, I'm done with it. Right. Smells good. Nice and thick and creamy. Back on. Go down here. It'll be accessed. Right. Yeah, lovely. Bloody lovely those. It really is. Yeah. What I did was I obviously peeled the potatoes, chopped them up into small little cubes, small pieces. I used about 4 or 5 potatoes, something like that, about that sort of size. Then I chopped up probably about that much of a leek into sort of sections, and then each section cut into quarters, and then I steamed the potato and leek all together. Didn't separate the leek from the potato, steamed it together, and then I chucked it into, when it got nice and soft, chucked it into the blender, mixer, and just slowly worked on it, and boiled the kettle, added a bit of hot water, worked on it. Now I also added some chopped cheddar, put some cheddar in there as well, whilst it's all hot so it melted in, and then put a bit of seasoning in there, a bit of garlic type seasoning. Yeah, very nice. Watch the rods for a bit. If you can see the tips from there. Don't know if they're showing. Are they showing on there? They're showing. Not really showing, are they? There they are. There's the tips. Oopsie daisy. How am I going to do this? I'm not bloody left. That's how I'm going to do it. Just had a lovely set of bites from the left hand rod. It's cast into the bay and gave me a slack liner. Hit the rod. I think that was full codling. Hit the bloody rod. Got a slack liner. Missed it, of course. Had to climb down and made sure this time I didn't get snagged up. So I climbed down and then went all over to the left hand side of the bay, and then my rig got hooked up on something very where the waves are breaking, so I managed to bounce it out. So I got that one back. But it's clean out there to the left towards Wales, or maybe if I was perhaps Bridgend, I'm not sure, but and I just had some more bites, but they haven't given me a slack liner. It could be a strap. I mean, if they take in the middle of the bait, they didn't get the pennel hook, unfortunately. So anyway, the tide is racing in now. It's coming up, starting to cover up those rocks. So anything now, I can kind of glide in now across the surface. and things will start getting a bit more comfortable hopefully soon. I won't have to go down keep bloody walking down the, clambering down to the bottom there. So yeah, there we go. Right, let's hope we can get a fish on the camera for you. Now, one last cast, and then time to go home. It's coming up to 22:11 now, so giving it a good old go. I mean, high tide is about something like just gone midnight, something like that. And I fished it up. It's an hour and a half now before high water, so yeah, I mean the water's on the bottom of the cliffs. I've had loads of small bites which I've not been able to connect with, and I had one decent bite about 7:15, which was about about half an hour after low water, and I got a slack line on it. That was the only decent bite, and then all the other bites I've had have been rattles, and so I put a scratching rig out just in case, just to see if I get something, but nothing. Well, first time here anyway, so let's see. First time for everything. Can't expect to catch every time. I've never ever been here before in my life, so not really knowing what the ground is like out there. I've lost 2 sets of gear tonight, so yeah, it's not been brilliant, but fishing wise, but just to be here, finally be here on Brean Down, yeah, it's good. It's good. 21 minutes past midnight. That's a bit later than what I wanted to be, but I was determined to get I had loads of bites on pure lug, on blow lug tipped with black lug, or tipped, half blow, half black on the pulley panel, and on the last chuck I actually connected, and it was heavy and it was thumping and starting to pull away from me, and then I started to gain some ground on it, and then the hooks pulled. So I think if it's a bony mouth, the only thing I can think of is a conger, more a low double, but it was pulling nicely, and then just dropped the bait. There is a chance, I suppose, it might have been a thornback or something, just not getting the hooks in properly. I'm not sure, but I just could not, and I had loads of bites like that throughout the evening. But the first main bite of the evening, there was a slack liner. Oh, and the last bite as well. So I think there's definitely congers out there picking up the bait, but just can't get the hooks in. Maybe it's the pulley panel fished from that height, and I should be using like an up and over from that height, so I can keep the bait on a longer flowing trace. There we are. Anyway, that's my first attempt, so first of hopefully many to come, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao for now.